Okay, this should be better. I can already feel it. Hi, it's Abdullah. The Nokia 8.3 is, at least on paper, a better phone than the X20. So why is the X20 actually my daily driver? Let's find out. PS, liking these videos helps the channel grow massively, and I'd really appreciate if you can smash that like button. So let me start by telling you what the 8.3 does better. So it all starts with the screen, where the 8.3 has a couple of fancy tricks that are missing on the X20. Things such as Pure Display, which converts regular content into HDR content, and adaptive white balance control, as well as slightly punchier colors. So it's just a more satisfying viewing experience. And then there are the cameras on the back. Specifically that 12 megapixel ultra-wide camera that's on the 8.3. And that camera is by all means a flagship grade ultra-wide camera that can compete with devices that are a lot more expensive than the 8.3. So it's better in almost every single way compared to the measly 5 megapixel ultra-wide camera found on the X20. So whether it comes to details or even low light photography, the ultra-wide camera on the 8.3 is miles ahead. And speaking of low light photography, I think the 8.3 is a better phone if you're interested in using night mode a lot. Its main camera captures better details in low light, and I even prefer the tuning of the low light images on the 8.3, which captures more realistic ambience of the scene as well. While we're still at the camera, the 8.3 is capable of shooting 4K video, and it also has something called Action Cam, which allows you to shoot very stable video. Both of these features are actually missing on the X20. And then there's the build where the Nokia 8.3 actually feels like a more expensive device, and this is in part thanks to its glass back with the stunning polar night finish. There's just something about this glossy, impractical finish that makes it look like it's more expensive. And finally, there is the peak performance advantage that the Snapdragon 765G and the Adreno 620 give you over the Snapdragon 480 and the Adreno 619 found on the X20. So the 8.3 should excel in benchmarks as well as in gaming. However, the X20 is also capable of throwing some punches of its own. So here are the aspects that the X20 excels at. For a start, it has notably better battery life compared to the 8.3. So on average, I'm hitting about 8 hours of screen on time on the X20, and you can even push it even further than that with a bit of careful tuning. The 8.3 in comparison averages at about 6 hours of screen on time. And then there's the better heat management. So the X20, even under heavy load, manages to maintain a very comfortable temperature, and it's slightly better than what you can find on the 8.3. This is especially apparent when you're gaming for 15 minutes or more. And even when I'm using an application such as CPU throttling, which measures the performance over a prolonged period of time, the X20 actually managed a higher average over 30 minutes than the 8.3, which is really impressive. And even though the processor is weaker on the X20, you almost barely notice this in day-to-day tasks. And then there's the daylight images. So I don't think the X20 captures better images, especially when it comes to details. However, the image tuning is more suitable for people who want to edit their pictures later. So if you like post-processing your images, the X20 is actually a better option. What I also like about this phone is that the build feels like it's very durable and very practical. So yeah, you don't get any fancy glass back like the 8.3, but the matte plastic finish is a much more durable and practical choice of material. And I really like having a very nicely built phone that doesn't feel fragile. And then there's the case that comes with the X20, which is one of the nicest protective cases that comes with a phone for free. And finally, the X20 ships with Android 11 out of the box, and it's promised 3 years of OS updates. So in theory, it should go all the way up to Android 14. In contrast, the 8.3 shipped with Android 10 and it's promised 2 years of updates, so it's going to go all the way up to Android 12. And this definitely gives an advantage to the X20 for people looking for longevity. So yeah, to answer the question at the beginning of the video, the reason I'm using the X20 as my daily driver is because I think for me it's offering a better performance to battery life balance than the 8.3. I spend a lot of time throughout the day using my phone, so I'm always either on YouTube watching stuff or listening to audiobooks or even using navigation when I'm driving. And for me, that extra advantage of battery life on the X20 gives me better peace of mind at the end of the night, where I definitely know that the phone is going to last till the end of the day no matter how hard I use it. And since the performance advantage of the 8.3 is almost barely noticeable in day-to-day tasks, I just don't feel like it's worth sacrificing that extra battery life for about 5% better performance. Especially since the X20 is really fast anyway. And since I'm spending most of my time at home anyway, I just don't feel like I'm making full use of the camera advantage that the 8.3 has. However, if I'm gonna go to a place where I know I'm gonna be taking a lot of pictures, I think I'd rather have the 8.3. So I guess until Nokia announces a better phone than the X20, maybe that rumored X50, 60, 70 or whatever they want to call it, I think my main SIM card is going to remain in the X20. If you're currently choosing between both of them, since they cost about the same right now, the 8.3 is such good value that I would totally understand anybody picking it over the X20. Now I'd love to hear what you guys think. Which one would you choose and which aspects matter to you more? So let me know in the comments down below. Anyways, that's it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.